Man, I'm hoping maybe this helps somebody today. I hope this reaches you today. I hope this speaks to you today. I hope God's using me to speak through somebody today. But I just want to say, many of you Christians out there who claim to be Christian, you say that you want to get closer to God, but you don't want to get uncomfortable. Man, I'm here to tell you today, you may not like what I'm about to say, but if you want to get closer to God, you have to get uncomfortable. Man, many of you want to go around calling yourself Christian, and you say you want a better relationship with God. Maybe you are Christian and you do want that better relationship with God. I'm not saying that, man, there's not a Christian out there that doesn't. But when it's time to get to work, when it's time to get to the nitty gritty, come on, to put the work into it, to put the elbow grease into it, you want no part in it. Man, see, if you want the end goal without putting the work. You want the reward without the discomfort. Man, to grow your relationship with God, you're going to have to get uncomfortable. Man, we see that all throughout the Bible. And I'm just going to use a few examples here. I'm going to use the best example, Jesus himself. Before he started ministry, he fasted for 40 days. Man, that's insane. 40 days. We can barely do a 7-day fast today, in this day and age. Man, Jesus got uncomfortable to get closer to God. And you know what's crazy? He's God's son. He is probably he's the closest person to God. I mean, he's not even a person, but I mean, he's 100% human, but he's also 100% God. He was the closest person to God, and he himself fasted. And after those 40 days, what happened? Satan tempts him. Man, there was uncomfortable with the fasting, and then there was an uncomfortableness with Satan tempting him. And the whole reason why Satan tempted him was because he was close with God. Man, and I'm here to tell you today, if you're not being tempted, if the devil isn't knocking at your door daily, I would look at your relationship with God. Because here's what that says to me. It says that the devil is not worried about you. The devil's saying you're not a threat. That's what that's saying. So I'd look at your relationship with God if the devil isn't trying to work on you daily. But see, even Jesus gets uncomfortable. And then we look at the disciples. I mean, the disciples had to get uncomfortable to follow Jesus. Do you realize that each one of the disciples had families? Man, every single one of Jesus's disciples had jobs, families. They lost stability. They lost their previous identity. Every single one of them. And that's amazing because when we're saved, we get a new identity in Christ. But they literally lost everything. Where they worked at, everything. Then they went and they lived a nomadic lifestyle. They were moving from place to place with Jesus, right? Then on top of that, some were sentenced to prison. And I'm referring to more as Paul here. And what's crazy is Paul, even in prison, rejoices and praises God. Man, I'm gonna tell you right now, you need to go read a lot of the books that Paul wrote. Because he's in prison in some of them, and he is praising God. But even some of the prisoners were exiled. John was exiled to the island of Patmos, where later on he writes Revelations, right? But he was still exiled there. There was not many people on that island. And then all the other disciples, they were martyred. They had to get uncomfortable. All of the disciples had to get uncomfortable to follow Jesus. Man, I'm asking you today, are you uncomfortable? Man, are you having to get uncomfortable to follow Jesus? See, if you want to get closer to God, it starts by getting out of your comfort zone. It starts by dying to yourself daily. It starts by praying without ceasing, without stopping, right? It starts by praising God even when it's hard. Man, even when you're going through a tough time, it starts by praising God even through the tough time. It starts by choosing God anyways. No matter the situation, no matter the circumstance, no matter the moment. See, getting closer to God is work. It's continually choosing God over everything else. And see, that can be hard, man. Maybe somebody young is looking at this right now. Man, somebody my age right now. If you're looking at this, it might be hard, man. When your friends ask you if you want to go out to the party, if you want to go get drunk, if you want to go do all these worldly things, and you have to say no because you want to have a greater relationship with God, it's going to be hard. Man, you might have to lose some friends over that. That is the truth. You might have to lose some friends. But how much greater is hearing, well done, good and faithful servant one day in heaven, than losing those friends? And I'm here to tell you, if they're doing worldly things and you're a Christian, they're not truly your friends. Man, see, following God is going to be hard. That is the truth. And if it's not, I would look at if you're truly following God. But I'm here to encourage you today that when things get uncomfortable, press in. Come on, keep going. Fight harder, right? I'm just here to tell you today that if you want to grow your relationship with God, get ready to be uncomfortable.